What is up, Metaverse gamers? Today, we have teamed up with CryptoPunk.gg, also known as Hooded, to go through one of the most exciting gaming platforms that we have experienced in a long, long time. Specifically, on the Root Network, we are going to be looking into the Third Kingdom, and Hooded is going to guide us through, new players and old, the updates as to what's just been dropped on the platform.
Yeah, so the Third Kingdom is the mining platform game from Futureverse, and it's a way of generating materials and tokens to be used across the open metaverse, like in Open or the Readyverse that we've looked at in other videos. So it brings a lot of utility to the network, whilst giving a bit of community activation. You know, getting the community in on events and keeping everyone involved.
Yeah, and from the looks of it, it's an extremely rewarding game for players that are either new or established. So once you've built up your particular metaverse, from what I've understood, there's various ways that it can contribute, not just to your wallet, but actually to the Root Network, and it integrates itself quite nicely into other applications as well.
Yeah, so most of what you're doing is going to generate on-chain transactions. You're generating different materials, which are just tokens on-chain. So you've got your gold, your metals, stone, etc., like you would in any sort of strategy mining game. Yeah.
And let's give everyone who's listening like an overview of what this particular game is. It's essentially a mining game.
Correct. Yep.
And what's the lore behind this? Is there alien craft? Is there just an open world that you get to pick and choose, or?
So there is a bit of lore behind it from Fluff World. Okay. You'll have to go into the Discord and check back on all of that, because it is vast, as you know. But TTK is sort of where this is set. Okay. So essentially, give us a 10-second blurb then. It's like this is TTK is essentially a complete extraction from Fluff World. Yeah. Okay. So TTK is essentially an extraction of lore from Fluff World and brought to life in a game. So, you know,
for those of you who don't know what Fluff World is, like Hooded said, go and check out the Discord, go and add them as a channel, and get involved, do some research, because it is vast, guys. We're not being lazy. There is a lot to cover. So, Kingdom coins, can you go back on that if that's possible? So, what are these here?
Yeah. So you can pay to speed up production on your mines, just like you would in any sort of mobile game. You don't have to spend Kingdom coins. In fact, the one point you do have to spend Kingdom coins is there's a small fee to mine your tokens when you prestige, which we can show you a bit later on.
Okay, sounds good. And this is optimized for mobile and desktop, or primarily mobile?
So it's just desktop at the moment whilst we're in the early days, but it will be coming to mobile, and I hope it is pretty soon, because I'd love to play this.
Fantastic news for all you mobile gamers. Yeah. Okay.
So it gives you a really nice overview, if you've never jumped into this before, as to what to do and how to do it. To anyone who, I see your Doodles world. You're right, that is very bright, very colourful. All you Doodles fans out there, you need to calm it down a little bit. Okay, so let's start right from the basics, and we'll start from converting energy to mycelium. That's like an absolute critical thing. Am I jumping the gun there? Where would you recommend that people start?
So let's jump in the gun a bit. Mycelium's been brought in episode 2, which is just about to go live. So to get to that point, you have to meet a quota of materials.
Okay.
Right? So if you click on your lighthouse here, you'll see that I'm prestige 33 at the minute, because I've been playing it for so long. You've got all your bonuses. Surreal escapes deployed, so I've got 9 plots of land. They stack on top of each other and give you a small bonus there, and then it tells you your prism amount. Prisms mine the energy, which are these things around here, and then you can see it.
Sorry to interrupt, Hooded. Do you get to drop these prisms around? Like, I'm not saying could you do it now, but is there any way you could grab that asset and move it around, or does it choose for you as to where they need to go?
So depending on the element, it sits on its own specific spot.
Nice. Okay.
But you can take them off and redeploy them, because you can. There's a bit of a gamble-fi mechanic to it, where you can re-roll the percentage bonus. So you can deploy them and and undeploy them.
So for all you degenerates out there who love a good gamble, click that button, click away. What I really like, first impressions, is that the layout looks quite nice and simple. It's slick and it's well thought out. The color schemes are already cool. I mean, regardless of the doodle-fied arena, I actually really like your dashboard here. The costs, your prestige leveling, like what the lighthouse is doing. It's all pretty slick. So how long does it take to prestige up then? So you've got your lighthouse. Yours clearly, after 7 months of grafting, has got to a decent, respectable level. And I'm imagining the production rate also grows as you prestige up.
Yeah, depending on how many prisms you've got and different mining rigs and stuff, depends on how much you can extract. So it all plays in, but you need to meet this quota here down in the bottom right. Once you reach that amount that's here, you can then hit prestige and you'll earn that amount of energy for that round. And when that happens, all this disappears and you have to do it all over again.
Oh wow! So it's almost like a reset and repeat loop. What's the input for being able to just acquire one of these assets? Because I mean, they're all super affordable now, aren't they?
You can buy the land plots on Tradeverse. I think they're around about $100. But it's the prisms. They're also an NFT that are on Tradeverse. If you're going to buy them, make sure that the undeployed ones. So they will earn you the energy. If you don't have these prisms, I don't think you can get energy, which means you can't farm mycelium.
Okay. So there's a fair bit to it, and there's nuances as there are to all these types of games. Which again, what would be really beneficial for a load of players actually is if have you got a bare plot where we can start from scratch, or are you just an ultimate grinder that has got all of his land plots just doing what they need to do and pumping out max efficiency?
Yeah, unfortunately, the way it's set up in this game, it's all done from the wallet. So I've just picked this to be my on-show land, but they are all in use here, as you can see.
Okay.
You got some assets, son. There's a long land there.
There's 9 plots of land. I think they all, bar a couple, they got airdropped for holding other assets.
So some nice parcels though, good parcels. Okay, so
outside looking in, then what would be really beneficial is just to get involved, acquire one of these parcels, and then look to see what aspects I need in order to start generating significant amounts of energy. You're telling us once you prestige, it all resets.
Yeah, but at that point, you can choose to mint your resources or burn them. So if you've got anything over your quota here, so say I only need 201k gold to prestige, but I've actually got 760,000. So it would take the 201 and leave me the remaining in my wallet. I could, go and sell them on the decks for a few root, or hopefully use them in some games. So you can create stone, alloy, gems, ooze, and gold through these mines.
Yeah.
And you've got to hit this quota down on the right. Once you do that, you can prestige, mint the leftover tokens, get your energy, and then everything gets wiped and you start over again. You'll have a different quota and you'll have a little bit more energy to earn the next time round. So this keeps building up then.
So the alloy and the gems are the things that are holding you back from prestiging. Once that's done, you can prestige.
Yes. I've got it set up a bit weird at the minute because we went on a 2-3 week break between episode 2, and I just wanted to try and mine more materials just while I could, really. So it's set up a bit incorrectly. Usually you'd go for a different setup to have a more of a balance
strategy, haven't they, for whatever purposes they're trying to fulfill. So
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it beneficial to try and jump into energy to mycelium at some point now that we've discussed how energy is generated?
Yes, absolutely. You want the energy so you can earn the mycelium, which eventually turns into root. And that's
cool. So with every prestige generates you a bonus amount of energy. The energy is needed to convert to mycelium, and the mycelium will actually generate the token root.
Yes.
And is any of this on chain, or is literally the mycelium to root the only thing on chain?
Well, all the tokens, so your stone, alloy, gems, ooze, gold, when you mint those, that's an on-chain event.
Right, so these are actually
and-
tradable items then.
Yeah, and I'm guessing obviously when you convert mycelium to root, there will be an on-chain sort of transaction there, I guess.
So I could go and buy my way if I wanted to be a pay-to-play player. I could go and buy a ton of these to prestige up and just start my journey a little bit quicker than most.
Yeah, you could go and buy a load of like good prisms or whatever.
Brilliant.
Start farming energy now, and there's a lot of root up for grabs. I can't remember what the figure was now, but I think it was a couple. It might have been in the tens of millions of root. It may have even been in the hundreds of millions of root.
Damn.
To be dished out. Yeah, so
it's a fairly
if you're
good pool
farming,
available.
yeah, if you're farming, 1 million energy per prestige, you're going to be looking at a decent sort of reward,
So the mycelium totem, that's a passive way of converting it?
Okay, so you'd come over here to the Archipelago.
Whoa,
and
where did you just go there? Is that like...
So this is episode 2.
Okay.
This is your mycelium totem.
That's cool.
And it's where you convert mycelium to root. So yeah, so when episode 1 finished, I had just over 200k energy that I'd mined over the last 6 or 7 months. I had a 4-week break in between that.
Son, you've been busy.
Yeah.
Like this is insane. Okay.
And that's so I staked or soft staked about 160,000 energy in here, which says it'll be available in 2 hours, I think. Yeah, and that's going to give me 27,000 mycelium. So if we can click convert mycelium to root here, it says here rate 1 mycelium
to 1 root.
One root.
That's an amazing exchange. Is that fixed?
Yep.
Oh wow.
So in 2 hours, I'll be able to withdraw 27,000 root into my wallet. Obviously, if root was at $15 and not like 0.1 cent, I'd be having the rest of the week off. But
these things happen.
At the moment, it's not. It's a good time to accumulate root while it's cheap. That's how it's done. You always buy when
for sure.
there's blood in the streets.
Sure, yeah. What was the all-time high of root?
It's about 11 or 12 cents.
What's its mint ratio like? Like how quickly before it becomes quite inflated? Is this a token you can produce en masse, or is it only through this realm that you are able to generate a new root token essentially?
No, there's I think there's 12 billion tokens. There's quite a lot being distributed to the community, and it has been over the last year. And also, there's team payouts and stuff. So there's a lot of root being dished out.
And what are the inflationary mechanisms to prevent it from just going a little bit crazy? Is it just like onboarding new community members, or is there aspects that within this realm that we've explored, not just this game, but the realm of root, where you burn the token or you spend the token and it goes into a new community pool, something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the gas and stuff goes into the vortex for staking, and then it's distributed to stakers. But whilst you're waiting for that time, you've got all these other islands around here.
Yeah, I noticed these, and as you're moving around them, what else can we do? There's been mentions of things like squads and missions, and
so each island has a mission, and you can send your squad out to get you get sort of bonuses by using a squad. So you have a higher success rate of achieving the mission using it.
So what's a squad? Is it like a group of players, or is it just people on my land that I use, or is it like
a squad? Is all the NFTs you've collected over the last 4 or 5 years, and you're going to get to use them in this game to give you a bonus to earn more mycelium.
That's nice incentive. That's great utility. That's well thought out. That I really, really like that. Okay, so with your squad being pretty dense, you've got all sorts of aspects and characters in there. Yeah, let's have a go.
Okay, I've got one squad out doing a mission right now. Actually, I did succeed earlier in another one. Can you still see the screen? Okay, so if we go here, this is the Great Hall. So you come here and do the statistics. You can see all your mining stats, your teams, and all your stuff in game. It's quite cool. You come here, your squads. I've set up 3 because I figured I can send 3 different teams out on 3 different missions, or at one time. giving me more spread success boost rather than I did have them all chucked in one big team, so I had sort of almost maxed out. And you can see on this team I've got it says 7 slots taken, but I'm guessing a fluff takes up 3 slots, a bear takes up 2 slots. I'm guessing that's how it is. But so I've got your fluffs, so your OG assets are your guardians, and then all the ones that came after, they are your collectors. So this all gives you, using these gives me a 12.99% success boost and a mission time reduction of 63.24 minutes.
So it saves you time and increases your percentage rates of success.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can set up a new squad now. I don't think I've got any assets left because they were all shared between there, but you just pick a squad image and then you go to Guardians, load all your OG assets, and then you can just select which ones you want to use. So there's that, and then your collectors, the same, all your companion NFTs, you just pick, and it just all goes towards your bonus. So then you've got your 3 squads, and then you can come back to here.
So we form these squads in what's that called? Is
it the Great Hall?
Okay.
So it's like a companion app that runs alongside this game, gives you all the statistics and things. You can even access it from the mobile and claim. You can claim the mines that are ready to be claimed. So every sort of 6 hours, when a mine's at full capacity, you can go on your mobile app and click claim, and it will restart the process. So you can keep going if you're away from your computer. That's quite handy.
So just to confirm how missions work, then there's these scattered islands around the main hub where you would distribute and remove your energy from your wallet. These islands are essentially mission based. So you'll curate all your NFTs into a squad, send them out to these particular islands. They all have different aspects and ratios of benefits. And by completing them, you get a boost and a reward of certain assets and in-game assets.
Yeah, you can see here, if you hover over this island here, it's going to cost you 9.7k energy to go on that mission. And then there's a 0.19x bonus somewhere with the mission reduction time because of, I think that's standard. But then if you actually go onto it, you can assign a squad. See your info here, and here you can choose which squad you want to send out.
What's the likeliness of success, though? It says if you win, is that the success boost? Like, can you just explain the success boost to me? Chance of success, sorry, it's there, 78.1%. That's pretty high.
Yeah, using that team, right?
Okay, there you go.
So if I chose Team Charlie, you're guaranteed. Yeah, so you're gonna earn. That's your conversion rate. So you got a 0.19x. But
so when they complete this task, when they do this as a squad, and the mission's complete, they bring back that additional conversion rate for when you exchange your energy. Does that happen during your current one, or does it go on to your next one?
Yeah. So whilst I went to bed last night, I sent one team out on a mission and got up today, had a little look, and there was 2.3 thousand mycelium waiting for me. So I literally just pressed claim, and it went there, and I could convert that straight away.
So we can convert that to root now.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's do the 2296.
Nice.
Convert to root. It's not. I don't think it's even going to ask me to sign.
Makes sense if you're all signed in. And there's new missions available. I see a clock in the top right-hand corner. I imagine once you've conquered an island with a mission, what's next? Like, it resets? Wow, look at that.
There we go. So
nice animation.
That's your payout.
Yeah.
I think it probably gives you a new selection of missions. They probably change daily. Keep a bit of spice.
That's pretty wild. So there's different mission types, and obviously there's cooldowns. Like, it makes sense that you can't just absolutely obliterate all the different missions. But are the different islands set up? Are they your spaces? Like,
Yeah.
So right here, I'm seeing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 islands surrounding the Mycelium hub. Why is there 8? Why not 20? Why not 4? Is that just because you've collected 9 parcels?
It's the way it was set up in the game, so it's like they're based on positions of the compass,
Nice.
north, south,
Okay.
northeast.
So this is standard for everyone then. Everyone's going to get a selection of 9.
Yeah, but you've got to use your plots to start using them. So if you don't have any plots of land, I'm guessing you just have the mycelium totem there.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, could you do more? Could you have like 20 islands if you had 20 lands?
No, so I've got 9 plots and I only got eight planted here. So there's one plot left over somewhere.
Okay. So eight's your absolute max for now, we think. Okay, that's cool. That makes sense. Again, it'd be quite aggressive if there was just like big whales doing hundreds and hundreds of plots. Okay, this looks like a really tough mission. So the percentage is on that. So what's the bonus of mycelium on that then? So if it's 3.8, okay, so that's double basically what you had previously. So previous island was 0.19. This is 0.38. That makes a lot of sense as well. What happens when you fail then? Like if it doesn't quite go through, you just burn your energy and that's it?
And you'd lose the energy, I should imagine.
Yeah, you'd have to lose something from not completing it.
Yeah. So I think the base rate is 0.119, is it? And it looks like there's a boost there to 0.38. So maybe that's the two differences. Okay. That's so I should reset. I'm going to send one of my teams off.
You're going to give it a go?
It's going to be like...
You've got to send your big squads. You've got to send the proper guys. 50% is not bad, to be fair.
Yeah. How much energy shall we commit?
Well, talk to me about committing. Like, what is the difference between committing 1,000 to 7,000? Does it alter the conversion rate boost?
So So if you only committed 1,000, you only get 383.
Oh, okay. So the multiply depends on the amount of energy you commit. So let's do full whack. Not that I want you to burn all that, but I just want to see what. Yeah. Okay. So it's 0.38 times the amount of energy you commit. Wicked. Totally understandable.
So
don't commit all that, Hooded. Like don't because I'm worried I'm going to be blamed here. Yeah. There's some mad hours coming to this.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a DJ, and I struggle gambling.
Well, for a coin flip on 50% as well, like that's 50-50. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
you do what you're comfortable with.
I spent a lot of time getting that energy. So,
what do you reckon? If you're going to go for it, 2,000?
No, let's just go for it. 7, 2, 3, 4
for the stream.
Must be owned for the duration of the mission. Are you sure you want to start the mission now? Yep.
Oh, that's clever. So you can't transition NFTs.
Can't sell your stuff.
It makes sense. Like you can't take the first.
Yeah. So I don't think that's the only other cheap mission.
Wow. Well, rooting for you. Let me know how that goes. How long was the duration of the mission? Like, are these called surreal scapes? These islands around?
Yeah.
Okay. So each one has a unique cooldown. Each one has a unique bonus rate. You commit a certain amount of energy that you've got from your parcel of land into these missions. The way of improving your likelihood of completing the missions is from the NFTs that you collect. And all of this blends really nicely into like a coherent gaming system. So that's how you'd go about essentially going into a mission, utilizing your NFTs and bringing back some rewards. Once you've got the rewards in Mycelium, you convert them into root and you use your root for whatever you need to use it for. This all makes a lot of sense. It looks like a really fun, interactive, well thought out game that integrates into the root ecosystem. It's super clever. This is probably more what people need to wrap their head around, actually.
Yeah. So
the missions is actually quite nice and simple.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. It's just to start actually earning a token, but the hitting the prestige in your quota, that's a whole different matter. But it's you get to upgrade the production rate or the capacity. So like, if you're sat at the computer all day, you'd be hitting production rate all the time because it would produce it quicker. But for someone like for me or yourself who or away from the computer, you can just like spam the capacity in the evenings. And then
for someone who hasn't got the
work it that way.
time or just
Yeah.
genuinely can't be by a computer most of their day, this is a good way of improving your production rates. Now, when you say hit your quota, you're not forced to hit a quota at any period of time, are you? You just have to accumulate resources until that quota's met.
Yeah, there's no time limit. It's
Yeah.
just says go out and earn this. Once you've done it, we're going to pay you in energy, providing you've got some prisms. You can actually pay for free. It'll give you sort of like a plot to choose from.
So you can have a
and
free-to-play plot, but I'm assuming you can't convert mycelium at this rate.
No, not without prisms. And I say free. You know, if you wanted to mint the tokens, you're going to have to pay for kingdom coins. So and it's not a great expense. I mean, the biggest parcel there is 167 root, which is
It's really
probably
not that expensive.
$1. It's $1 for 50,000, and it costs 5,000 to mint. So you could just use kingdom coins if you wanted, and just zip through everything. Or to upgrade, you can use the materials you've already mined. So you'd probably start off with just a stone one. I think that you get one stone for free, and then once you've built a couple of stone ones and generate some stone, you could then build like the gold mine.
That's incredible. I really like this. Anyone out there who is a mobile gamer or a desktop gamer, they like a simple mining application game, which integrates into a wider ecosystem of root network, things like Readiverse, and utilizes your NFTs and assets and just demonstrates like some actual utility. This is probably for you. Third Kingdom is also, for me, one of the slickest and most well-polished application games that I've seen. No dig to any of the others. It's just that this one in particular caught my eye as I was going through the suite as a newbie. I did like the look of this. Onboarding is a different thing. Like, obviously there are levels to how you can integrate yourself. And going through these videos with you is really insightful because there's a lot to cover, as there is with most games. But yeah, anyone that's fresh to the Root Network, go and check out the Third Kingdom because it's looking pretty special.
Trap music.